Who am I really? Have you ever questioned who you really are? Am I just an egg waiting for a sperm to penetrate so I can attach to my mother's uterus? And then one day she just pushes me out into this nasty world? What about if I was an egg and a wolf? What would that make me now? Or if I was an egg and an elephant, I'd be a baby elephant. Or if I was an egg and a whale, I'd be living in my favorite place of all places, the ocean. But what if I could choose my own name? Why did I get stuck with Palladino and Wyllie? Because my father was Palladino and because I married a man named Wyllie. But what if my mother got laid by a Clampett or a Goodblood or a Dankworth or a Pippin? Then would I be Sandy Pippin or Dankworth or Dunkle Funk? And why can't I choose my first name? Why did I have to be Sandra? Why couldn't I choose a different name, like Crystal or Jasmine? Why can't we wait until we're older so we can pick our own names? Wouldn't that make better sense? Because then we would really love the name we had because we were able to pick it when we were older instead of, it given to us, And what if I wasn't a girl? What if I was a boy? I'd want to be Benjamin. I always liked that name, Benny and the Jets. But what am I doing here on this planet Earth? What if I wasn't born on this planet Earth? Well, people say Earth is the only planet that has life. But what if there's life out there somewhere else that we just don't know about? What if I was born out there somewhere else in outer space, on another planet that no one knows anything about? Would I be less stressed, less hassled, less worried? And why am I always waiting for something to happen to me? Why can't I be happy like a butterfly? Why can't I be a butterfly? A butterfly isn't waiting on anything. The only time a butterfly is waiting is when it's not a butterfly. It's when it's a caterpillar in a cocoon, waiting to break free of the cocoon and fly away. Well, why am I waiting to break free after almost 60 years and I still haven't completely done it? Think about, if I was a butterfly, then the only time I would be waiting is when I was wrapped up in my safe little cocoon, and then I'd be free. But when I was wrapped up in the safety of my mother's womb cocoon, when I broke out, I wasn't free at all. In fact, I was a prisoner. So I think I'd rather be a butterfly. I was my mother's prisoner. She was a narcissistic bitch. And when I got free of her womb, of that cocoon womb that I was safe in, I just became her prisoner, waiting for her to let me in the house when I was a little girl, a little toddler. She locked me out of the house so she could wash her precious kitchen floor, and I banged and banged because I had to go to the bathroom and I was freezing cold and she wouldn't let me in. So guess what I did? I pushed my head through the glass window and shattered the whole window. And then she beat me to a pulp after that. But I think I'd rather be a butterfly or a bird. I like to be something that flies, something that has freedom. Imagine soaring up in the sky. I think I would rather be a butterfly. What would you like to be? A butterfly is not only free once they leave the cocoon. They can go wherever they want to go. They can do whatever they want to do. They can, hop from flower to beautiful flower. And no one seems to be able to catch a butterfly. They are beautiful, elusive creatures. I think I'd rather be a butterfly named Crystal. And then I wouldn't have to be, it wouldn't really matter if I was a male or female butterfly. How can you even tell the difference? There's not all those stereotypes on men and women on butterflies, right? We don't even distinguish one from the other. We can't even tell if one is male or female or what it is. They're just beautiful creatures that are free to fly and go wherever they go, instead of being prisoners of the situations they were born in. Because I think that's what all of us are, really. We're prisoners of the situations that we are born in. I know I was a prisoner, when I left the safety cocoon of my mother's uterus. I wasn't free. In fact, that's when I became her prisoner. But that wouldn't be the case like out in nature. Out in nature, things are, wild and free, and they're not, trapped like humans are. I think we got a raw deal being human. I think we got a very raw deal. We're not really free, are we? Even though we think we are. We kid ourselves that we are. Maybe, you support yourself and, you have a good job, or what does that mean though? Do you really feel free inside? Freedom isn't just financial security, A butterfly doesn't have financial security. A butterfly doesn't need financial security. And what about where you're born? I hate living where I live. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. I'm just waiting for summer. It seems like we're all waiting for something, but the birds don't have to wait. Well, the birds can fly south. They don't have to be stuck in a particular place. They're free to fly. Imagine if I was an eagle and I could fly high as the mountains. Wouldn't that be magnificent to be soaring? Soaring the big, beautiful landscape of mountain and greens and streams and lakes and rivers. And not having anything, just having wings and having nothing to tie you down. I think I'd love to be an eagle. Yeah, an eagle soaring high in the sky. Be able to take myself wherever I wanted to. Not have to worry about having transportation to get there. Not having to worry about putting gas in a car or having a car or taking an airplane or buying expensive tickets or, just be able to take off. Wouldn't that be awesome if you could just take off and just fly to wherever you wanted to go with no restraints? Imagine that kind of freedom. Like I said, I think us, humans got a raw deal, being born as human beings, whether we're male human beings or female human beings. We're all born prisoners, aren't we? We can't choose anything. We can't even choose our names. Isn't that sad? I mean, you can legally change your name if you wanted to, but how many people legally changed their name? If you didn't like your name, if you were named Jim Bob, and you didn't like that, and you wanted to be something, different, you could legally change your name, but I don't know many people who go to the bother of doing it. But then you're, dependent on your caretakers when you're young. And sure, out in the wild, baby eagles, and caterpillars. I'm sure a lot of, in birds, they're all dependent on their parents in the beginning. But then they grow up, they mature a lot faster and are able to break free a lot quicker than we are. There's some people who are still dependent on their parents, even when they turn legal age, even when they're 18. After 18 years, they're still dependent on their parents. A good majority are. So I always question, like, who am I and what am I really doing here on this planet? Do you ever question those things? What am I doing? Am I having any purpose? What's the point of it all? What is the point of it all? You get up, wake out of bed, shower, shit, shave, and do what you do. I'm sure you do the same thing every day, practically, right? Eat, go to work, or eat, not go to work, sleep, But I think I'd rather be more than just, eat, shit, and shave, I think I'd rather be the butterfly, where I could, flutter from flower to flower, or the eagle, where I could soar over the mountains. I wouldn't have to be, have any thoughts or stress or cares or, you don't hear about eagles or butterflies going to shrinks or taking antidepressants or. These animals are free, They're not trapped in this human body, in this human form. So sometimes I just think that I'm an old woman just waiting to die, really. Just looking at the clock, and another day rolls past, and another day rolls past, and try to get some fun out of each day by doing something creative. But I don't know who I really am. Do you? Do you know who you really are? Who are you? Do you ever ask yourself that question? Who are you, and what are we all here for anyway?